What do y'all think about Juelz Santana? I don't know if y'all talked about this already.
No, we didn't.
Juelz Santana was in an interview. I don't know. It was on some podcast, and he said he feels as if kids should know math over reading, and we should focus obviously on like financial literacy, etc. We need that more than reading. What do y'all think?
I understand that. I seen somebody kill him and say any nigga that can't pronounce literacy shouldn't even be speaking in that sense. This is exactly why we need to learn how to read and shit like that.
It's an interesting topic because it's interesting.
Like, kids, he's saying kids don't need it nowadays. Everybody needs to know how to read. Unless everybody ain't finna be Floyd Mayweather, bro. Everybody not finna get to a point where they finna be that successful without knowing nothing.
Can you understand numbers without understanding words?
Yes,
you think that's possible?
Bro, it was a time it was illegal for us to read, and that's for a reason. They said all the information is documented in books. So if you can't read, how do you learn new information in the society we live in?
How you even communicate at the highest level if you can't read? If you don't learn new words, you can't even communicate properly.
They say judge a man by his library. First thing you do when you enter a man's house, go look at his library. What is he ingesting on the day-to-day? Are you watching TV or are you learning new information via reading? Because if you don't got no books in your house, I know for sure you're not learning nothing new.
He wouldn't even be able to form those words he's using if he didn't learn how to read something.
Now, I'm going to say you definitely need to know how to read. You definitely need to know how to read. I don't know what the fuck he was getting at. I really want to play. You got the clip so we can hear exactly what he said? I think the point he was trying to make was we need to put more focus on financial literacy and learning about money, how to keep money, how to earn money, how to use money, than I guess just learning how to read and that's it. I think that's the point he was trying to make.
Even using that, you learn to read in the elementary level. By then, how much reading are you doing?
That's all you really need to a certain
Hold on, here it go.
Just financial wealth and I saw this on the internet, and I even posted that Juelz Santana said on a podcast, kids need to learn how to start businesses. They don't need to learn how to read. And as a practice, I generally try to look for the video. Here it is. I start teaching our kids, though, just financial wealth and literacy and all that. I just want to stop real quick right here and say,
okay, let me find that original. Let me find. That's what you was talking about. Here
it goes. I never really promoted it, like rapped about it, but I definitely know I was I didn't really know what that shit was at the time. So
he talking about lean.
I feel like we definitely owe that to them. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. So we got a lean head with no teeth telling us kids don't even know how to read. What are you talking about? How you gonna start a business and can't read? Who gonna read your contract? You gonna trust a lawyer? You can't read, so the lawyer can tell you anything. You gonna have a financial advisor? They gonna say here, hey man, this is what your finance doing this month, but you can't read it.
But most people
so your dumb ass be out here getting robbed.
But most people already, even if they can read, they're not reading.
He's a rapper in the industry, synonymously known for getting fucked over because they didn't read the contract. So the irony of that is damn near hilarious.
Got it right here. Hold on. It's
stay in school, put the lean down. Juelz Santana, I know what you was trying to say.
One thing he did say that though.
Fuck up out of here, bro.
He did apologize for the lean movement. He said he didn't really know what was going on. Basically said you a dope fiend now. If you do lead, you're doing opioids and everything else. You're basically a basehead is what he was saying if you off lean. So that's what he was trying to get at. You probably got to hook it up to the thing.
You got to hook it up to the roadcaster. But yeah, that was the dumbest thing I heard today. He could have said we need to learn more about financial literacy and more about our finances without saying we don't need to know how to read. That's the dumbest shit ever.
And literacy and all that. But seriously though, you should though, we gotta start teaching our kids though just financial wealth and literacy and all that shit early, because by the time they get to 9th grade, they should be just learning how to start businesses and how to. But they don't really need to know how to read.
Wait, stop. See, but I do get that though.
This is but
what he was trying to say is we don't got to spend past the 9th grade learning how to read.
Yes, but this is the problem I'm starting to have with the Black community. We say a lot of these buzzwords, financial literacy and things of that nature, but when it boils down to what that is to a lot of us, it's having an LLC. That's literally it. I hope y'all know that.
You think that?
That maybe stocks, options, but it's or having a business. It's never
because financial literacy, because the banking and all that.
Yes, yeah. but a lot of people when they think of financial literacy, it's synonymous with having a business. It's not synonymous with investing, saving, HSA, Roth IRA, stocks, options. It's not necessarily for some people it is. But I think for a big portion of our community, when you hear financial literacy, you think start a business, get rich. But how can you do that if you don't even know how to put away 10 grand? If you don't even know how to go put your money into an account with a certain interest rate that's going to make it grow? Like, if you can't do these base things, what makes you think you're going to go from that, not knowing what to do, to having a business and it being successful or a multi-million-dollar business?
But I think financial literacy falls under basically all those things you name. I would assume
He's saying niggas don't even
does,
understand it. They just saying it because it sound cool.
They just say
right.
that, and again, when they think of it, it's being a business owner, but you don't even necessarily know what it takes to get there, or you just assume it's synonymous with that, when financial literacy is just the way that you live your life financially, the decisions you make, right? That's
and,
really
and
what
if you
it
don't
is.
got employees, your ass ain't a business owner.
Right, or you're not a boss.
You
But
ain't
one-
a boss, bro.
One person I do like who actually speaks on those things and said he learned from his mistakes and goes into that is Waka Flocka. He goes into depth and gives solutions about what you should and shouldn't be doing. And he shows his own results. So I think that's why I don't like either. Like you said, when people sometimes we use these filler words, but we never ever give no solutions or no technicalities of, hey, step one, start here or do X, Y, and Z. You get what I'm saying?
And it's also like, it's diluting kids. It's making kids be like, it's nothing. What else can I do? Be a rapper or start a business? And when you really think about it, those are two great things to do. But for a lot of people, that can feel like a great feat. We need to give our kids more practicality. Shoot for the stars, of course. But we got to start being real with these kids. Not everybody's going to own a multi-million-dollar business. Not everybody's going to be a rapper or an NBA player. We have to start getting our kids ready for the real world. However we do that is how we do it. Whatever you want to focus on it, but it has to be based in reality and practicality. It cannot be based in these things that you don't even necessarily have knowledge in. Like you said, you got a nigga with no teeth who got fucked over telling you, hey man, y'all niggas just need to start a business. It's like, what are we really talking about?
One thing I didn't get that from him. He said for the most part, but I do understand, like he said, in the 9th grade, yes, they should be having courses on financial literacy. They should be having courses on how to save money. They should be having courses on credit. They should be having courses in those brackets.
I agree with that.
We don't have none of that in these high schools or for school in that matter at all that I know of, as far as from K through 12. So I get what he's saying. But by the time you get to 9th, 10th grade, you should know how to read. But it's people in high school that can't read. It's people right now, 40 years old, still can't read people couldn't read Harry Potter books. Like, we're gonna say we got to get you a Cat in the Hat. Like, people don't read nothing. So
I think reading is synonymous with wealth. If you look at most people, if you don't have some type of freak nature, athletic talent, 9 times out of 10, if you can't read, you broke as fuck. That's just a fact.
Most of the readers are the leaders.
You go outside, the average adult, I think right now has a 7th grade reading level, reading comprehension, and then you look at their finances, they're broke as fuck. So reading is synonymous with wealth. Whether you want to believe it or not, bro, I went to an open house. $1 million house. Guess who owns it? Chinese, Asian. Guess what they have in their house? I'm talking about bookshelf. I go to their kids' room. Guess what their kids got? Ain't no video games in this bitch. A bookshelf. All self-help. Learn. I'm talking about these kids probably no older than 5 or 6. And they got at least over 100 books in their room. And like I said, they're owning $1 million properties, selling them. So that should let you know they prioritize reading over what the fuck everybody else is doing. And that's why they're doing better financially than everybody else is. Because while your kid is on the laptop, scrolling, this, that, and the third, their kid is reading how-to books at 5.
You know what else is crazy about that?
They actually learning. Go ahead.
What else is crazy about that? The key word you said was comprehension. That's actually what reading allows you to do. When you're in school, if you remember, they teach you how to learn the context of a sentence based off the words around a certain word. So that's how you're
context clues.
Yeah, that's how you're able to learn, or foreshadowing, predicting, all these certain things. When you're able to comprehend words and sentences, that's actually you being able to think. So we do need reading over math problems too, because not everything is going to be 4 + 4. It might be if I have 5 more than you, or if I have 5 less than you written out. If you can't, yeah. If you can't read, then
one
you're
word
fucked.
can change the
Yeah.
entire
And it's crazy.
formula.
He would have been better off saying we didn't need all that goddamn calculus and geometry and
Yeah,
all that other
that
stuff
I could get with.
unless you was trying to get to. Because most stuff you only need is going to be basic math in your real life.
Basic
Yeah,
math,
that's it.
you know how to count money? Cool.
Yeah.
You know how to do
Anything
basic math
else?
problem?
Yeah.
Cool.
And
Anything
if
else, you
not,
got
you got
calculator
calculators
on
and
your
everything
fucking
else.
phone.
Yeah.
Come on.
Something to figure it out for you.
If you're not in a field where you need math, then other than that, but reading is fundamental. That lets you get to the core of a person. Knowing you can tell if a person read just by the language and the words they choose to use. You know people that can't stop using a selective amount of vocabulary, you know they have no type of knowledge. For the most part, I'm not even gonna say knowledge. They might have knowledge in one area, but for the most part, their mind is not expanding nowhere. And reading actually helps you be able to be a better visualizer, which in turn helps you to be able to see things further than where you can see now. Because now you're able to put images with the things that you're reading. You can't map nothing out if you can't see it in your mind.
And your vocabulary is also synonymous with wealth. People with a limited vocabulary, look at their wealth. Look at how much money they got. Look at what type of rooms they're in. Because the type of people that have certain amounts of money, they're using certain type of words. So if you have a very limited vocabulary, the doors that open for you are going to be very, very limited. That's why you go to the hood, what everybody speak, Ebonics, this, that, and the third. You go up here to Beverly Hills, guess what? They talking a whole nother language, using words you probably never heard in your life down here.
And to go back to what Kali was saying, when you get to these banks and stuff, you got to know their language.
Yeah.
You got to know how to speak and write things up the way they need them presented. And everything else, when you go to jobs, you do certain stuff. It's no way you're not going to be able to have that. So I just think he was all the way off. It's a lot of these rappers and this is exactly why Malcolm X said, don't be looking up to these niggas. Yeah, don't be looking up to these celebrities.
Fucking dumbass
in these
niggas.
places.
You don't need to read.
Yeah,
Fuck
like
reading.
that's the most crazy.
Take the mic from that dumbass nigga. Y'all talking about band podcast mic, nigga. Take cut mic. Get cut the fuck out of here. Y'all be listening to the wrong niggas.
It's like, damn. Now I understand if he had growth and you want to share your experience and you want to tell them like, hey, don't do lean, don't do X, Y, and Z. This is what got me and how we can learn from your mistakes. And that's a little different. But
He
you
didn't
sitting
cook
here
with
just-
that.
But you know what?
That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
It's not cooking.
You know what? Like, he getting killed for this right now all over the internet. But I do think that his mind or his heart was in the right
His
place.
intent was right.
It's
Yeah.
just we too many of us do that, where it's like you just say some shit without really saying how to do it or giving niggas any backstory. It's just like you can't just carelessly say something with that big of a platform.
That's right there. That's too dangerous to say. When black boys have the lowest reading level in the United States, that's the crazy shit to say, bro.
And knowing when they tell us to put everything in a book to keep it away from us, and you telling niggas to don't go look for that, what's really going on with you, nigga?
Our history is locked away in the Vatican in the book. You go through history, all history documented is what? Written history. That's how we got it passed down generation to generation. So how you gonna learn about yourself if you can't read, bro? And we gotta put more stock into teaching kids to identify with self, to learn more about themselves more than they do these materialistic items.
Mm-hmm.
We could teach financial literacy, how to be a business owner, all of that. None of that is gonna give you a fulfilled, complete life. You need a purpose outside of the money. Once you get the money and you buy everything, then what? What is your purpose to live? How many rich people we got to see, rich, famous, thought they was living a life, and they Kurt Cobain themselves. They Robin Williams themselves. Why? Because they had nothing outside of that. We created money, bro.
I think Robin Williams was a different level.
I don't care what level it was. He was rich and famous and one of the most favored comedian actors of his time at that time. And he was the most unhappy when he had the most money. That should tell you right there, money is everything, but it ain't everything.